Hey, Chef Andres at home. Today, Italian sausage. You have to make this recipe. I am confident that you're going to love it. No casing needed for this recipe. You cut a messy step, but most importantly, you can use this sausage for making a wide variety of dishes. I'm going to tell you what you can use this delicious Italian sausage for, walk you through and show you the equipment that you'll need and how to use it properly, which is very important and a trick that not everybody knows. I'll also provide you the best tips and professional tricks to make this sausage one that your friends and family are going to be blown away by. Stick around. You're going to need a pork cut that has at the very least a 20% fat content. If it doesn't, you're going to have to supplement the fat with pork back fat. Why? Well, fat is key in making sausages. First, it adds a wonderful flavor. It also functions as a binder. So while you're cooking the sausage, it stays moist and juicy, and it doesn't become dry and crumbly. Nobody likes that. Lastly, the fat helps carry flavor. So all the spices and herbs that you put in there are going to be more vibrant on the final product. A few great cuts for making sausage. We have the Boston butt, which actually is the shoulder rather than the hind end of the pork. Also pork belly, skinless of course, and we'll use pork neck today, which I have right here. We have a few steaks of it, and you can tell that it's the pork neck right here. And this cut is also used for making coppa, which is a delicious Italian cold cut. By this like cross marbling that it has right here, it's just amazingly good for making sausage. It has all the fat that you need. One truly important and crucial part of sausage making is that the meat you're going to be grinding needs to be very, very cold. The way to achieve this is we're going to cut the pork into small cubes, mix it with the spices, and then it's going to go to the freezer and be there for an hour at the very least. This way, it forms a thin layer of ice around each piece of pork, and this will do the trick. So here's the explanation of why the pork needs to be so cold. It prevents the fat from smearing. If the fat gets too warm, it emulsifies with the meat, and this creates a very unpleasant texture that is greasy and definitely a no-no. The cold temperature ensures the meat and fat particles stay distinct. This just leads for a better mouthfeel when you eat the final product. Two more quick things. Food safety, which is of course a paragon when you're cooking for your friends and for yourself. And it also improves binding of the protein of the meat. This is essential for sausage to hold its shape while cooking. Whether you have a standalone grinder or an attachment for your mixer, it is important that you know how to assemble it properly. I'm going to walk you through the steps. The grinder that I have, it's an attachment for a mixer. However, the parts of grinders are pretty much universal. So the way to assemble properly is we're going to put this auger right here, and then what a lot of people gets wrong is how they put this blade. So the blade edge is facing you. If not, this will not cut properly. Time for the grinding plate. So there are a lot of sizes for this depending on how small you want your grind to be. It goes like such, and then we screw this one on to keep the grinding plate and the blade fastened to it. The next step is the tray right here where you're going to put the meat, and then it's going to shoot through this hole, and we're going to push it through with this little plunger right here. Now lastly, how to attach this to the mixer. In my particular case, easy. Right here, we put it on and just locks up and we're good to go. We put the tray and it will be ready to use. However, one caveat. This also needs to be very, very cold, just like the pork. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the freezer for at least a half hour. Well, I could be listing a ton of dishes and we're going to be here for a lot of hours. So I'm going to keep this list short to the dishes that I like making, and they're sausage pizza, stuffed mushrooms, lasagna, kale and Italian sausage soup, white bean and sausage soup, among some of the big hits. How can I forget the meatballs that you can make with this sausage? They're glorious. Also, you can make this orecchiette pasta where you saute broccoli wraps, sliced garlic, pepperoncini, and the sausage with olive oil, and it's absolutely outstanding. If you like the content that I'm creating, down here, smash the like button and subscribe. Also, if you'd like me to make one of those dishes that I just mentioned, leave me a comment down below. I'll be happy to make it for you. Enough talk now, let's get cooking. Beautifully marbled pork, salt, sugar, and toasted fennel seeds, chopped garlic, fresh ground black pepper, paprika, red chili flakes, balsamic vinegar, and ice cold water. Here we have our pork. This particular one has a small debone right here, this steak. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. After that, you'll see slicing and dicing. Now this is ready to go to the freezer for about an hour. Once the pork comes out of the freezer, it's going to be very, very cold, like we talked about, with that thin layer of ice around it. So we're going to grind it. After grinding the pork, we're going to paddle it in the mixer. By adding ice water and a little bit of vinegar, we're going to help binding the protein. This is going to give it that delicious mouthfeel and help keep the sausage a little bit together once we cook it. We're about to start the grinding process. So I just pull the grinding attachment for the mixer out of the freezer. Look, nice and frosty. There you go. It's attached. Put the tray on and we're ready to go. Here's the ice cold pork. You can hear it, right? Let's turn on the mixer so we can start the grinding. Here we have the ground pork. Look at that. It's wonderful. Ready for the next step. We're going to attach to the mixer this little paddle right here. Turn on the mixer to a medium speed. We're going to add the balsamic vinegar. And the iced water. Paddle the mix for about 1 minute. Here's the sausage, ready to go. You can tell, wow, it smells amazing. Also, it's holding together. It's nicely binded. Look at this. Yeah. You may refrigerate it and use it later for any preparation you'd like. I made some meatballs with that sausage. Ooh. Like I said, this is one of my favorite things. Very simple, easy to make, and super delicious. If you want to learn how to make those meatballs, up here, just check out my other video. Don't waste any time. Go watch that one. Go.